Hey, what's going on, guys? TheHORRORman back with my review of the controversial lost Nickelodeon film, CryBaby Lane. I discussed CryBaby Lane in a Rare Movies Not on DVD or Blu-ray video probably about 2 years ago at this point. In that video, I talked about the controversy surrounding the film. CryBaby Lane first aired on October 28, 2000, during the SNCC Halloween special, hosted by Melissa Joan Hart. And then, after that, for nearly a decade, the movie was never re-aired. After that initial airing, there was an outcry from parents claiming the movie was too scary and too disturbing for kids. I mean, after all, it was Nickelodeon, and this was 20 years ago, so it was sort of a different world back then. And so, CryBaby Lane became the lost Nickelodeon horror film, never to air again until 11 years later on Halloween night. CryBaby Lane was originally produced as a Paramount theatrical film, but then Nickelodeon decided to premiere it during their SNCC Halloween special. The movie almost instantly received infamous status. But was it all just a bunch of overhyped nonsense? Well, actually, I don't think so. Again, you have to remember this was 20 years ago. It really was different back then. There are some genuinely creepy scenes and some truly disturbing imagery in CryBaby Lane. It stars Frank Langella as Mr. Bennett, the town undertaker. The movie opens with him telling brothers Andrew and Carl a scary story. 12-year-old Andrew and his older brother Carl visit the funeral home often because they enjoy listening to Mr. Bennett's stories. But this one is the most disturbing of all. He tells them of a farmer who lived in the town years ago. The farmer's wife is pregnant, and due to a genetic mutation, she gives birth to Siamese twins. The farmer is ashamed, so he keeps the Siamese twins locked up in the house. One of the twins is good, however. The other is evil. As they grow older, one of the twins becomes very ill, and because they share a liver, the other twin gets sick as well. Soon, they die, and to hide his shame, the farmer saws them in half, burying the good twin in the cemetery, and the evil twin in a field down a long path known as CryBaby Lane. It's called CryBaby Lane because it's said that anyone who trespasses at night can hear the cries of the evil twin who wants revenge. After hearing Mr. Bennett's story, Andrew and Carl return home, where Andrew has a nightmare that night. He scares fairly easily, unlike Carl, who is a big fan of wrestling. He references wrestling multiple times throughout the film, mentioning Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he even has a poster of The Undertaker on his bedroom wall. Andrew, however, is more of a fan of The Lord of the Rings. Mr. Bennett's story really stuck with Andrew and Carl, so they devise a plan. They invite some girls to the local cemetery for a seance. It starts out as a prank, but before they know it, they resurrect the spirit of the evil twin. You see, all those years ago, a mistake was made, and the good twin was buried down CryBaby Lane, but the evil twin was buried in the cemetery. Now, the spirit begins taking over the town, infecting everyone, and turning them evil. An interesting thing about CryBaby Lane is it's not actually a Halloween movie. Halloween is never mentioned at all throughout the film, but it still has that Halloween feel, and it definitely takes place in the fall. You can tell by the weather and the fact that there are fallen leaves all around. It has a very strong Halloween vibe, and after all, it aired during the SNCC Halloween special. It's cool that Frank Langella has such a big role. In something like this, you think he might have a cameo, but he's one of the main characters. He's extremely important to the plot. And not only is he a significant character, but he gets a lot of screen time. The scenes of the evil twin are just plain scary. I mean, I can clearly see why there was outcry from parents. The setting is awesome, not just because it's fall, but because the majority of the movie takes place in the cemetery. And then the final chase and climax of the film takes place in an immense cornfield at night. It's dark and spooky and atmospheric. The whole movie is. There is even grave desecration in this. It's a horror flick, no matter how you look at it. CryBaby Lane, as disturbing and controversial as it is still a family-friendly fright. When all is said and done, it's still aired on Nickelodeon. I am a big fan of this one, and I assure you it's a lot better than you probably think it is. So tell me, have you seen CryBaby Lane? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Be kind. Subscribe.